All right, so boom, check it out. So today at Courtney Kitchen, what we got serving up is some Parmesan crusted Tuscan chicken with some asparagus and some roast potatoes. Let's get it. First things first, you're gonna get your chicken titties, all right, or chicken breast for lack of better terms. The next what we're gonna do is butterfly our chicken breast, and it looks pretty similar to what I'm doing right here. So we're gonna make a slit, and then we're gonna go ahead and open the chicken breast on up just so that way it thins out. Reason being is just because we have parts of the chicken breast that are thicker than others, and we want these all to cook at the same pace. Now, once you've gotten your chicken butterfly, what you're gonna do is then put some oil over the top of it, just a light coating of it, all right? So just rub it on both sides. And then next, let's go ahead and get everything seasoned on up. So what we're gonna do with this is gonna use some Tuscan seasoning. This is Tuscan style Trattoria, which you can get from Kroger, or just get whatever Tuscan style seasoning you can find at your local grocery store. Now, if you don't have those specific things, what you can use is garlic powder, onion powder, Italian herb, and some smoked paprika. Mix those up, and then maybe get a little bit of lemon pepper, and that'll be your Tuscan seasoning there. Next up, if you don't have Hidden Valley Ranch in your repertoire, the seasoning, oh my God, especially if you've been in Walmart before and had the seasoning pack on them wings. Listen, that's a whole nother story for another day. I'm always gonna advocate for you to go ahead and just cook with your soul, but if you need a measurement, do about a tablespoon on each chicken breast. Now we're gonna follow that up with some chopped, or you can get some minced onion if you don't have this exact brand, which is gonna be at Kroger. All right, then we're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little bit over the top. So you ain't gotta go too crazy, about half a teaspoon. Lord have mercy, I can't talk today. Half of a tablespoon, y'all. All right. Now, when in doubt, you gotta improvise sometimes, because I love to use Mrs. Dash salt-free lemon pepper seasoning, but all right, we ain't in our normal kitchen. So anyway, go ahead and get some lemon pepper seasoning, just put a little dash over that. All right, now this should go without saying, but please, please, please season the other side of your chicken, because you're gonna eat both sides of it, I'm assuming. All right, then you're gonna just let your meat rest on the counter, and we're gonna move on to the next step. Next, you're gonna take your little small potatoes and cut them up. Next up, what we're gonna do is drizzle a little bit of oil over the top of these potatoes. You can get vegetable, you can get olive, you can get canola, just get some oil, all right? But then same time, what we're gonna do is preheat our oven to 425 while we're seasoning up our potatoes. Now to season our potatoes, we're gonna start with some garlic salt, and I'm gonna let you know right now, you gotta over salt your potatoes, because like the potatoes, they soak up so much that if you do a regular amount, your potatoes is gonna be bland. And don't tell nobody that I put you on the recipe if you don't make it right. I'm just saying. And as always, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, or a lot of it, semantics. But we're gonna go ahead and add some in. You can be liberal with this, because powder does not contain any salt. So you're not running the risk of like giving people high blood pressure by them eating it. Next up, what we're gonna do is add in some onion powder. So we're gonna do about 1 to 2 teaspoons. And then we're gonna follow it up with just some regular plain old black pepper. So you can go kind of easy on that, because pepper can carry a little bit. So about a teaspoon, and that'll do you just fine. Now, whether you season your potatoes up in a bowl or a baking dish like this here, what you're gonna do is mix all the seasonings up together with the oil, just so everything is evenly coated. Don't matter how you do it, just make sure you wash your hands and you keep clean in the process. Once your oven is preheated and your seasonings are nice and mixed up with your potatoes, what we're gonna do is pop these on into the oven at 425 degrees for about 30 minutes or so. You just want the potatoes to be fork tender, but still have a little bit of crisp to them. Moving along, we're gonna start on our egg wash. So we crack 3 eggs into a bowl, and then we're just gonna go ahead and beat them until you see no more egg white, and then we're gonna set that aside. The egg wash is gonna act as a binder to help the Parmesan and the breadcrumbs stick to the chicken while we're frying and everything, because you don't want the coating to fall off. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and make our breadcrumb mixture. So here what we're gonna do is add about a cup of each of these. All right, so we're gonna get about a cup of the grated Parmesan cheese, and then a cup of some panko breadcrumbs. It doesn't really matter too much the brand. Do whatever works for you, because we're gonna season this up anyway. For time purposes, refer back to what we used to season the chicken. That's what we're gonna use to season up our breadcrumb mixture. Once the mixture is seasoned, then get a fork, or you can use your finger, whatever works for you, and then you're just gonna go make sure everything's incorporated evenly. All right, so every single bite has just hella flavor busting all over. wait. Anyway, all right, so we got our cast iron skillet heating up with some oil right now, and it's on about a medium high heat. But what we're gonna do is we got our station set up. So we got our wet station and our dry station. So take your butterfly chicken, go ahead and make sure each side is evenly coated with the egg wash. All right, very important, so that way the breading sticks. Then we're gonna move it on over to our dry station, which is in the back there, and make sure both sides are evenly coated. Now you have the option to go ahead and do a double dip where you come back to the egg and then the dry again. But in this case, not really necessary like that. Personal preference. Now we got one chicken breast already started, so make sure lay your chicken breast away from you, so just in case if that grease splatters, you don't want to be the one that's in the way. You feel me? So we're gonna go ahead and let those cook until a golden brown. Roughly, you're gonna do about 5-6 minutes at most on each side, because again, you don't want that chicken breast to dry out. Honestly, in my opinion, eating anything dry is just not the vibes at all. Like, I said what I said. All right, so this Tuscan sauce is so simple, it's ridiculous. So let's get into it. So we got a skillet preheated to about medium high heat. Then we're gonna add in some spinach slowly. You're gonna add in about half the bag roughly, because you already know when you cooking spinach, it's gonna cook down. Like, that whole bag is gonna look like a handful. You know what I mean? It almost reminds me of like when you ever used to work overtime at your job and everything like that. And then whenever you think you really got you a little extra bread is when your car start coughing and stuff like that, and just random stuff to start going wrong. But anyway, rant is over. So we're going to get some heavy whipping cream, and we're going to use about half of this bottle here, which is a quart. So we're going to use a pint of heavy cream. If you want your sauce to be more saucy, go for it. Do whatever works for you. But we're going to go ahead and add that in. And again, it's on like a medium high heat, just depending on your stove. And we're going to let that go for a little bit. And now let's go ahead and get flavorful. So you're going to get some minced garlic, and we're going to add 2 small kitchen spoons worth, or 2 teaspoons, if you will. So comment down below. Let me know, like, do you cook by just using your eyes and discernment, or do you actually measure everything? Because Lord have mercy, I just couldn't imagine being that precise with it like that. Now with bacon, that's a whole different story. But anyway, it is a must to go ahead and backdoor it with some Hidden Valley ranch seasoning. So you're going to do this just enough to get your palate right, all right? Because there is a little bit of sodium in it. Then to wake everything on up, what we're going to do is get the juice from half of a lemon. So squeeze it and get it nice and juicy and ready for you. And then we're going to cut it open and then just squeeze the juice out of half of it. All right, simple enough. Now for our cheese, all right? I always recommend go ahead and getting a block of cheese and then just grating it up yourself. But if you're one of those people, maybe you got kids, maybe you ain't got the patience or the time, go ahead and get a bag of some Tillamook mozzarella cheese, and then we're just gonna go ahead and add in cheese until your heart tells you that's enough, or your ancestors, whoever tells you. But anyway, also we're gonna season this up with some Tuscan herb seasoning. This is a game changer because look, it simplifies cooking, so that way you don't have to get the individual ingredients. Now, I don't know what y'all call a little bit, but where my people from in Mississippi, we say pinch. So you're gonna add a pinch of some crushed red pepper and some garlic salt, just a little bit now. All right, so go ahead and just mix everything together. And that sauce looks so beautiful and just sexy, and Lord have mercy. So here you can add in some more spinach if you like. If you don't like a lot of spinach, then you cool right here. And then we're gonna get some Parmesan Romano grated cheese. Add just a little bit in there. Go ahead and shake it until your ancestors tell you to stop. Or if you want to measure, you get about a quarter cup. Once you get to this point, honestly, when that heavy cream starts to boil, you can reduce that heat down to a low. So anyway, go ahead and stir the grated cheese on into your mix. And then we'll get ready to go ahead and add in our sun-dried tomatoes. Specifically, what I got is some California sun-dried tomatoes in the julienne cut, so they're kind of like thin strips. If you want the halves, then do whatever works for you, because you're the one that got to eat your own dish. Either way, it's going to get the same job done, all right? So add in the whole bag and continue to stir again, all right? We're doing this by the time this is finished, your chicken is done, and then all you got to do is wait probably about 10 minutes for your potatoes to be done. And shit, look at that chicken breast. That's a big ass chicken titty, man. Anyway, so go ahead and take it out the hot grease and set it on the paper towel lined plate. And then we will be ready to go ahead and serve everything on up. All right, simple enough. And you know I had to have something green that wasn't covered in sauce. So that's why we got these asparagus spears. Dope thing about them, as you can see right there, it steams in the bag in the microwave. So don't complicate it. Just put it in the microwave, steam it for a few minutes, and then come back and season it how you like. Now, fellas, if this don't work for an apology or whatever the case, I don't know, you must have really messed up, bro. But anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. And yes, Lord.